there, my name's Barnaby, and I've been spending the last year going through this book, Rhythm Guitar 365 by Troy Nelson. And this book gives you a rhythm guitar exercise to do every single day. And so I've been going through them, and I've also been recording them. And I've been recording them at half speed and then at full speed. I've been going through each one twice for the recording, but of course I've been doing them many more times in practice. And in practice itself, I've been doing one per day, but I've recorded them in kind of bunches here and there where I could, fitting them in around my schedule. And because making videos like this, even really primitive ones like mine, it takes a lot of effort, and it does take a lot of extra time. There's video editing and messing around and remembering where all your files are. And anyway, it's done now. I've finished the entire thing, and I'm glad to have this huge project out of the way. But what I'm going to do is first I'm going to talk about the last 4 weeks, weeks 49 to 52, and then the final exercise. And then I'm going to give some comments about the book in general, as well as kind of the its place in a practice schedule, thoughts on the journey of going through the book, what I got from it, all that stuff. But first, I'm going to go through the last 4 weeks of exercises. So, of course, exercises are done in 4-week blocks. And so 49 to 52, you've got 7 exercises repeated 4 times in different keys. And so the Monday exercises, they were very pleasant. They use this quite nice add 9 chord. Right? It was palm muted. That's really nice sound. They were very good. They were pleasant to play. Some positions, they were harder than others. You know, sometimes you had cramped fingers, sometimes you had stretched fingers, but basically they were very useful exercises, good palm muting practice. Nothing bad to say about that at all. The Tuesday exercises were country, not my favourite thing in the world. There were some good points about this though, because it allowed me to work on my hybrid picking. Right? And so that was useful. The bend was actually useful, and it didn't go on too long, so you didn't have to play and hold it, which is painful. The other thing is that sometimes you had to do semitone. Other bends were a full tone, and so that difference was good. The downside is that still for me, because I do practice bending, but I don't do it every single day, I don't have the strong calluses that, say, a country player might. And so if I practice it for a little while, well, it just hurts. My fingertips hurt, my hand cramps up, and I think, why am I doing this? But that's just endurance. Okay, Wednesday exercises, again, were very pleasant. They were built around these arpeggios. So really quite nice. These very beautiful arpeggios followed by this kind of metal palm muted line. It was, you know, a really good exercise. So Wednesday was good fun. Thursday was my least favourite day in all of these exercises. Now, I've been enjoying the funk exercises, which are Thursdays. Generally, they've been very good for pick discipline, muting, all that sort of stuff. But this one, I just didn't like. We start with this. And I don't like that sound of that progression. Also, you have to mute this middle string, because if you let it ring, or you get weird chords which you don't want. So you need to. And so I found this one really kind of unintuitive and a bit hard to play. It improved over the 4 weeks that I did it, but I never really got comfortable. And at full speed, I was always chasing the beat. I never think I played this one well. I certainly don't in the video, and I may have gotten through a couple of times in my practice and thought, oh, that was okay, but it never really got under my fingers. I guess when I come back to it, when I do this book again in the future, it'll be easier, I'll be more familiar with it, I'll know what to expect. But in this case, I found it really a bit unpleasant. Also, it uses this sharp D7 sharp 5 chord, which is a cool chord, but in the context here, it just didn't sound very nice. So it was a lot of effort to produce something that, you know, I didn't like the sound of at the end. But that's a personal thing. Maybe you love it. Friday was good fun. That was just a standard jump blues, a sort of Stevie Ray Vaughan style. Touched my switch there, got a weird buzz. Anyway, but yeah, that was all it was. Good fun. And so I really enjoyed the Friday. That was a really good one to do in all keys. It's something that I'll use, I'm sure. Sort of pub band playing stuff. Saturday was perfect for me. That was just your jazz stuff. And it was just really good fun, sort of walking bass. So, yeah. And so that was really, really comfortable. It was also really nice because I've been enjoying this hybrid picking. So if I play this chord, and I use my little finger, and it's been good for me to learn to bring out the upper voice with my little finger. When I first started doing this, I got a very, very weak upper voice because my little finger wasn't used to playing. But over time, I've improved. And when I go through this book again, I expect to improve further. And I found myself using this hybrid technique much more in my own playing. I recently recorded a version of the jazz arrangement of the Flintstones. And I just found that, you know, my hybrid playing was so much better because of doing these exercises. It was great. So yeah, it was good fun. Okay, Sunday. Sunday was fairly straightforward, sort of double stops. That's not it. That's it. And that was really kind of useful and just again, techniques you're probably going to use, double stopping, pick precision, hammer-ons, all that sort of stuff. And doing it at different speeds was helpful again. So, Monday to Sunday, weeks 49 to 52, straightforward, no real problems, except for the Thursday funk exercises, which just I didn't gel with. And then the final exercise was a kind of one of the things that this book has been good for, making you rethink picking and pick direction and rhythmic emphasis. But at the same time, it was also a little annoying, a little unintuitive, like many of these. So what you've got is this, the kind of muted notes, and you have to start on an upstroke because you're playing. Now notice what I do there is I use upstroke, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. And that was fine. I found that when I was doing it at speed, if I relaxed for a moment, my pick direction would reverse. I would default to alternate picking or alternate strumming. And so I really had to kind of focus on doing it. I think in the video I get it almost right. I make mistakes twice or something, but there you go. You can go back and check at the start of this video and see how I do. But again, it was really quite straightforward. So there was no real problem with that. Now, of course, when I did his other book, Guitar Aerobics, the last exercise was something you worked up to and it had an amalgamation of techniques and it was really difficult. In this book, the last exercise is one of the easiest in the book. And I think that that might be because this book is not really about stuff that's hard. It's about understanding fundamentals and reinforcing them through practice, which is arguably a much, much better thing to do if you're studying the guitar. So, what do I want to say about this book in general? Right, well, in terms of final thoughts, of course, people are going to want to make a comparison between Rhythm 365 and Guitar Aerobics. They are both by the same author, they're both by Troy Nelson. They each have one exercise per day, and they're both published by Hal Leonard for whatever that's worth. So the question is, which one is better? Which one is for you? I'm going to say, having spent time and gone through both of them and recorded videos of both of them, that for the majority of guitar players, Rhythm 365 is absolutely the winner. And I don't mean by that that advanced players are going to get more out of Guitar Aerobics and less advanced are going to get more out of this. That's not what I mean at all. I mean that most of us, when we play, spend a lot of time working on the widdly solo stuff and nowhere near as much time as we should working on our rhythm fundamentals. And so this book forces you to do precisely that. It gets you to deal with picking techniques and directions. It does some kind of new technique stuff. It works on stuff like bending as well. It works on different rhythmic styles. It works on hybrid picking, all that stuff. But more than that, it helps you to kind of get a sense of locking into a groove and repeating rhythmic patterns. Now, I recorded all of these exercises only twice per tempo, but when I was practicing them, I play them 10 times or more. I try and imagine that I was playing a song and this was the part I just had to keep going on and on with. So this was really, really good. There was nothing unplayable in here. There was nothing where you just went, oh, that's just impossible. The other big difference, and of course Guitar Aerobics does have some things that are unplayable, especially at full tempo. The other big difference between them is that Rhythm Guitar 365 has a clearer, better thought out pedagogic approach. I think Guitar Aerobics was an earlier book by Troy Nelson, and he just kind of started putting some exercises down. He was trying to build around this daily plan. At some points he ran out of ideas. He did some variations that were better than others. As other people have said on my YouTube channel, Guitar Aerobics would actually benefit from a bit of revision, a kind of, cutting some exercises, expanding some others, doing more variations on them. What I'd love to see is actually a version of Guitar Aerobics which is more along the line of Rhythm Guitar 365, because, as I've mentioned in every Talking Head video I've done, you get 7 days of the week, and every exercise is repeated in different keys for the next 3 weeks. So it's a 4-week set. So at the start of the week, an exercise might be difficult. By the end of the week, the exercise is really easy. It feels comfortable. It feels like home. And so you do that with 7 different types of exercise. By the end of the month, you've kind of got 7 techniques, 7 sounds, 7 feels under your fingers, and you can do them all in different keys. It's really useful. Then you go on and do more. And not only that, but each 4-week block kind of progresses from the previous one. And so you are developing your vocabulary again and again. It's a really useful thing. So it's a much better book in terms of its planning, the way it's thought out, and you can see a clear progression. I just think it's a really, really good book. Guitar Aerobics is fantastic, and I like having it as part of my practice routine, but it really would benefit from being gone over again. So, yeah, Rhythm Guitar 365 is, for me, a winner. I think it's a fantastic book. I will be doing it again. I will go all the way through it probably next year, and I may well just keep it in my practice routine and just, 10 minutes a day. I will go through this book, and I may go through it for years and years and years, because there's so much to unpack. Understanding chord voicings, working on hybrid picking endurance, developing that little finger in the jazz hybrid picking style. All of that stuff will be really, really useful for me. So I can't say enough that is good about this book. I think it's fantastic. I do think it's better than Guitar Aerobics. I do like Guitar Aerobics, but I vastly prefer this one, and I can see this is the work of a more kind of mature educator. So I think the benefits that this book will unlock are considerably greater for a much wider range. Even if you're an advanced player, well, there's a good chance that you could use, time on rhythm fundamentals, and this will give you that. What don't I like about it? One thing in Guitar Aerobics is it did build up from slower tempos to faster tempos, gave you backing tracks to work through. And I would like to have seen that with this book. I'd like to have seen, say, it doesn't have to be 8 tempos as it is in Guitar Aerobics, but say 4 tempos, 4 tempi with this book. Really slow one, a medium slow, medium fast, and a fast one to just give you that progressive workout. So I think that would have been nicer. I think better backing tracks, actual backing tracks would have been nice. Something that I think both Guitar Aerobics and Rhythm Guitar 365 would benefit from is a full set of real backing tracks. So chords, bass, drums, all that sort of stuff. But I do recognise that would also be a lot of work for Hal Leonard to do. They'd have to get someone in to play it. They'd need a drummer, they'd need a bassist, maybe a pianist. And it would just be a massive amount of recording. So maybe a hobbyist will do that one day. They'll do all the backing tracks for that, for Guitar Aerobics and for Rhythm Guitar 365 at different tempi. Maybe I will, I don't know, but not for a while at least. However, that aside, yeah, this is a fantastic book. It works really well. And what else do I want to say about it? Doing a bit of it every day was useful. One of the things I found listening to the videos is that often I didn't like the sound of my guitar playing, and that was due to a number of things. First of all, obviously no one really seems to enjoy listening to their own playing. It's like hearing your own voice recorded. But on top of that, all I was doing was running my guitar into an amp, and then it was just being recorded into this kind of, into a camera. And so the microphone isn't particularly high quality. I wasn't doing anything with the sound afterwards. I wasn't mixing the sound. There were no backing tracks. There was nothing else. It was just kind of a metronome playing and the guitar sound. And it didn't always sound great. The other thing is that in a small room like this, what you're going to get is the sound of the amp plus the sound of the strings. And so you're always going to have this kind of jangly sound in the background. Whereas on stage, you're really only going to hear the amp. You're not going to hear the guitar strings themselves. So it doesn't give a great idea of what the guitar would sound like in actual performance. So that was one aspect. Another thing is that I didn't record until I had absolutely perfect takes each time. I'm not an Instagram guitarist with a need to pretend that I have perfect technique. I recorded until I could sort of play it, and then I recorded an honest take each time. My videos, I guess, are intended both as a guide for anyone else doing the book, but they're also intended to show what somebody like me, I'm a middle-aged, mediocre guitar player, what someone like me can develop from this book. And if I lie about that, if I overproduce everything, if I make my guitar sound really, really good and I practice until everything just sounds perfect, well, it's not going to be an honest representation of what I've actually achieved. And also, it would just take me forever. I mean, there are 365 exercises. And if I had to produce a high quality video and high quality sound for every single one, the whole thing would just take far, far too long. So what you get is me, amp, camera mic, jangling away a bit, and it gives you an idea of things. And yeah, it's a fairly honest set of recordings, and anyone who's playing through the book will go through it and go, oh, I can play about that well, Most of you, I imagine, will go, oh, much better than that guy. And that's as it should be. So, yeah, Rhythm Guitar 365, I recommend it very strongly. If you're going to choose one of them, Rhythm Guitar 365 or Guitar Aerobics, then choose Rhythm Guitar 365. But of course, it would be great if you did both. Rhythm guitar for fundamentals and then a guitar aerobics exercise for a bit of fun and some new techniques in everyday practice session. And well, it would be only 25, 30 minutes at the most if you did that in your daily practice session. So overall, I'm very happy. I can't remember what this book cost me, $10 or $20, something like that. Whatever it was a real bargain. And I hope that if you're going along and you're doing this book as well, you've gotten something of value out of these videos. If only just looking and going, oh, well, I'm much better than that guy. All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you later.